नारायणाय ॐ नमो 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 नारायणाय. Wonderful friends, welcome you all. Hope you had a very good Guru Purnima, remembrance of the Guru Tattva Vyasa Bhagavan, all the Gurus, and did your due upasana to them and commitments and initiatives. Welcome, salutations, greetings, gratitudes, and wishes, prayers that this endeavor of ours of studying our Shastras, which has become a very healthy, good support for those who are coming regularly, is not given up, and then understand that the people of the world are worldliness. As they enter into that groove of worldliness, find themselves as if helpless, that they cannot come out of it. They get lost in it only. In the same way, you and I, seekers of spirituality, especially those who are regular, who have tuned to this, being regular to the class study, find themselves helpless, should not leave this. That type of क्या करे मैं तो आदत ही हो गया सत्संग सुनने के लिए शास्त्र पढ़ने के लिए है ना. This type of mode of not wanting to go out of this, we have to firmly, strongly, deeply we have to have in our hearts, and that makes us continue. And then one day the thought will come, what can be the next or the better way of doing the things. That's how the evolutions happen to everyone, no exception for us also. So let us enjoy continuing our studies daily. Like every day, today also we have 5 things to do. Narayan. Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. The Vedic chanting, our common sense thought, Mangalacharana Shloka, Sankalpa and Veda, Upanishad Mantra Ucharana, Upanishad Adhenam with Bhashyam. In the Upanishad, it is Shwethashwathara. Again here, the glory of the self, the nature of the self, the need of realizing the self, the benefit of realizing the self, and the way to realize the self. These are the most crucial, beautiful, necessary things are again and again discussed. Even in these mantras, today we will be seeing the 18th mantra with Bhashya of the 4th chapter. Through all this, may we invoke the grace of Parabrahma, Ishvara, Jagannatha, Devatagana, Gurugana, Shastragana, because our wishes are noble, not vicious. Our plans also are authentic. Our efforts, yes, they have to improve, no doubt, but we are on the good path. So, definitely, we may deserve their blessings. Same time, focus on our Vyaktitva. Let it not be loose, let it be tightened by holding ourselves, by knowing and deciding ourselves how I have to be. So, the Loka Sevaka, Dharmasthavaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mumukshu, Jignasu, Shrota, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Prashanta, Gambhira, Samskrita, Bhasha, Jnata, Vyakarana Samita, Guru Upasakaha, DaivopaSakaha, Mananakarta, Nididhyasanakarta, Anubhavi, Anubhavanishthita. these Vyaktitwas and any such required, let us build them. Even though we should not have Vyaktitva, because we are the self, yet to realize the self in the beginning, this Vyaktitva Nirmana is essential. Through them, when we reach to substantial stage, then all of them we discard or transcend to go into that self. But right now, these Vyaktitvas are necessary. Now, welcome, friends. The first aspect of the day Vedic chanting, Rugvedaha Navamamandalam. We'll chant from the 100th Anuvaka. Around 112, 113 are there within 2 or 3 days. We'll do this, then we go to the 10th Anuvaka also. 10th Mandalam, sorry. ॐ अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः नवममण्डलं शततम अनुवाकादारभ्य ॐ ॐ अभिनवन्ते अद्रुहः प्रियमिन्द्रस्य काम्यं वत्सं न पूर्व आयुनि जातं रिहन्ति मातरः पुनान इन्दवावरसो मद्विबर्हसं रयिम् त्वं वसूनि पुष्यसि विश्वानि दाशुषो गृहे त्वं धियं मनो युजं सृजा वृष्टिं न तन्यतुः त्वं वसूनि पार्थिवा दिव्या च सोम पुष्यसि परिते जिज्ञुषो यथा दारा सुतस्य धावति ब्रह्ममाणाव्यव्ययं वारं वाजीवसानसिः कृत्वे दक्षायनः कवे पवस्व सोम धारया इन्द्राय पातवे सुतो मित्राय वरुणाय च पवस्ववाजसा तमः पवित्रे धारया सुतः इन्द्राय सोम विष्णवे देवेभ्यो मधुमत्तमः त्वां रिहन्ति मातरो हरिं पवित्रे अद्रुहः वत्सं जातं न धेनव पवमानविधर्मणि पवमानमहिश्रवश्चित्रेभिर्यासि रश्मिभिः शर्धन्तमांसि जिघ्नसे विश्वानि दाशे प्रतिद्रापि ममुञ्चथाः पवमानमहित्वना 101 पुरोजितीवो अन्धसः सुताय मादयित्नवे अपश्वानं श्नतिष्ठनसखायो दीर्घजिह्व्यं यो धारया पावकया परिप्रस्यन्दन्ते सुतः प्रस्यन्दते सुतः इन्दुरश्वो न कृत्व्यः तं दुरोषममीनरः सोमं विश्वाच्या यज्ञं हिन्वन्त्यद्रिभिः सुतासो मधुमत्तमाः सोमा इन्द्राय मन्दिनः पवित्रवन्तो अक्षरं देवान् गच्छन्तु वो मदाः इन्दुरिन्द्राय पवत इति देवासो अब्रुवन् वाचस्पतिर्मखस्य ते विश्वस्येषान ओजसा सहस्रधारः भवते समुद्रो वाचमीं खया सोमः पतिरयीणां सखेन्द्रस्य दिवे दिवे अयं पूषा रयिर्भगः सोमः पुनानो अर्षति पतिर्विश्वस्य भूमनो व्यख्यद्रोदसी उभे समुप्रिया अनूशतगावो मदाय घृष्वयः सोमासः कृण्वते पदः पवमाना स इन्दवः य ओजिष्ठस्तमावरपवमान श्रवाय्यं यः पञ्चचर्षणीरभिरयिं येन वनामहै सोमाः पवन्त इन्दवोऽस्मभ्यं गातुवित्तमाः मित्राः सुवाना अरेपनः स्वाद्यः स्वर्विदः सुष्वाणासो व्यद्रिभिश्चिदाना गोरधित्वचे इशमस्मभ्यमवित समस्वरन्वनु सुविदः एते पूता विपश्चित सोमासो दध्या शिरः सूर्यासो न दर्शतासो जिगत्नवो ध्रुवाघृते प्रसुन्वानस्यान्धसोमर्तो न वृततद्वचः अपश्वानमराधसंहतामकं न भृगवः अजामिरत्के अव्यतभुजेन पुत्र ओण्योः सरज्जारो न योषणां वरो न योनिमासदं स वीरो दक्षसाधनो वियस्तस्तम्भ रोदसी हरिः पवित्रे अव्यतवेधान योनिमासदम् अव्यो वारेभिः पवते सोमो हव्ये अधित्वचि कनिक्रदद्वृषा हरिरिन्द्रस्याभ्येति निष्कृतम्. One more, one not two. Grana शिशुर्महीनां हिन्वन्ऋतस्य धीधितिम् विश्वापरिप्रिया भुवदद्विताम् उपत्रितस्य प्वाश्योरवक्त यद्गुहाफलम् यज्ञस्य सप्तधामभिरदप्रियम् त्रीणि त्रितस्य धारया पुष्टेश्वेरया रयिम् मिमीते अस्य योजना विसुक्रतुः जज्ञानं सप्तमातरो वेधामशासतः श्रिये अयं ध्रुवो रयीणां चिकेतयत् अस्य व्रते सजोषसो विश्वे देवासो अद्रुहः स्पार्हा भवन्तिरन्तयो जुषन्तयतो यमी गर्भमृता वृधो दृशे चारुमजीजनन् कविं बंहिष्ठमध्वरे पुरुस्पृहं समीचीने अवित्मना यह्वी ऋतस्य मातरा तन्वाना यज्ञमानुषज्ञदञ्जते क्रत्वा शुक्रेभिरक्षभिर्नृणोरपप्रजन् दिवः इन्वन् कृतस्य दीदितिं प्राध्वरे. One more small one. प्रपुनानाय वेदसे सोमाय वच उद्यतं भृतिं न भरामतिभिर्जुषो जुजोषते परिवाराण्यव्यया गोभिरं जानो अर्षति त्रिशदस्ता पुनान कृणुते हरिः परिकोशं मधुश्च्युतमव्यये वारे अर्षति अभिवाणीर्ऋषीणां सप्तनोषधा परिणेता मतीनां विश्वदेवो अदाभ्यः सोमः पुनानश्चम्वोर्विषद्धरिः परिदैवीरनुस्वदा इन्द्रेण याहि सरथं पुनानो वाघद्वाघद्भिरमर्त्यः परिसप्तिर्नवाजयुर्देवो देवेभ्यः सुतः व्यानशिः पवमानो विधावति. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Gurudeva. Right, friends, after our Vedic chanting, today in our common sense thought, the few thoughts, first and foremost, love life, love the human life. Second is, feel or think to live it alive beautifully, fully, as much exuberantly as possible. That is by our thinking, by our choice. If we don't love the life, it will be just a morose way of dragging, dragging, dragging. If you don't think about and want to make it big way, then a routine way, the life will keep on happening. Anyway, it will happen. Even to a snail which is walking, the life is happening, isn't it? In its own way. For a serpent reptile, as it moves, uska bhi zindagi chal raha hai. So to ours. It will continue, but not that much maja in it. But if we think to make maximum of it, we can make it. The ability to think, the ability to know, the ability to perform and achieve. They're not there in other living beings. We as a human beings we have. So see if we can think in these lines. Then third thing now, having first loving our life, second wanting to make it beautiful, third is let us know how much of the time we have. About the time always remember, how much ever the time is there, it is less only if we have the attitude. Or it is so much is there, it is also an attitude. If the attitude is there of so much time is there, then all the laziness creeps in, carelessness creeps in. है ना? Like आज करे सो काल करे सो परसों, जल्दी क्या है भैया जब जीना है बरसों. That laziness creeps in if we imagine that there's plenty of time. By the way, the time is plenty only, no doubt, because time is endless. Only thing is we change from one life to the other, one situation to other, one occasion to other, but the time continues. So if you see that way, कि both time है, most chances of procrastination. And postponements will be there. Being careless, being negligent will be all put together simple thing called as extremely lazy. On the other hand, if you think कि time बहुत कम है, and time कम भी है बहुत, it's also an idea, but both come because even a Brahmadeva's Ayu of one Mahakalpa also passes so fast, noticed or unnoticed, it also gets over. If his life itself is Alpa, like Nachiketa says, Api Sarvam Jivitam, how much ever big it may appear to be, Alpameva. So if Brahmadi Devata's Ayurudhayam is limited, what to talk about you and I, the human beings? And to you and I, we know also how quickly our time and life has passed, isn't it? So that way we see the time bahut kam hai fir. We have to understand this point. The fourth one is very essential about our energies which we have right now. Deha, Indriya, Prana, Mano, Buddhi, the energy. How much we have right now them. If you see, they are also not in infinite quantity. They could have been much better, but we didn't know, so we might have not properly managed. Therefore, we have pretty ordinary level of these abilities. So then, if we are wise and intelligent, having discovered these two, about the amount of time with us and about the amount of energies with us, now should it not be our again next intelligence to think in this world, in this life, what can be the bestest that can be achieved? What can be the greatest that can be achieved? What can be the highest that can be achieved? What can be the everlasting that can be achieved? When that is achieved, and not regrets at all, but there is joy, that there is fulfillment, that there is self congratulating feeling. Should we not use our intellect to think about it? Because intellect is useful for that purpose and it can be used like that, isn't it? Like in the worldly things, people, right from there buying the clothes or selecting the place to stay, when they do so well thought, they really congratulate themselves. Correct shop I went to and right cloth I bought with correct price. That's a fulfillment. They used their intellect for that. There are so many. They just didn't bargain anywhere. They just inquired. They found which is the shop honest, which gives the quality of the object for the price it collects. So we have made an inquiry. So to as regards, let us accommodation, kaha ghar banana. So a wise thinker thinks about seeing all the facilities that are required, accessibilities, etc. Then he says, yes, I had 10 options for me to select my residence here and there. तो मैंने दिमाग लगाया तो देखा मैं उसमें 3 पॉजिटिव 6 नेगेटिव इसमें 4 पॉजिटिव 5 नेगेटिव this place was 8 positive only 1 or 2 but this was the best amount and I selected and exactly what I thought perfectly now I am happy. Many of my friends didn't listen to me. They forced me to go by what they thought. I refused them. They were angry at the time, but now they say my choice was better. See, don't we see so in every aspect of life? If in every of these aspects of life we look for the better and best, should we not look for the entire life? What is the best? What is the ultimate? What is the greatest to be achieved? Have we ever thought about it? Which is crucial because only after ascertaining it, like in the case of the clothes or the house, that I wanted this quality or this best, that you pursued that particular path. In the same way, all our life's travel, journey, efforts depend on what we have chosen to reach, isn't it? So, therefore, should we not think about it and see that the best, what can be the best? Mind you, in all our Shastras, whether we have noticed it so far or not, they all talk about that only. None of our Shruti Smriti Purana Ityasa Shastras talk about the secondary or mediocre or the useless things of the world. That we all know. The useless things, and we consider them to be the best. But what is the best? That's what is indicated in all Shastras. Shastras and Gurus might have indicated, but have we realized that yes, what they have indicated is best for this and this and this and this reasons and logics? Has this conviction happened to us? That this is what indicated by the elders to be the highest to be achieved. Have you thought about it very well? Then I understood and accepted that this is the best. See that when that clarity is not there regarding what best I have to achieve, then whatever I feel best or I am misguided by others or guided by others is not all my energies, time, which are very minimum, are guided directed towards that. Technically, this is called as samsara. Samsara is that where our energies, times, resources we direct to the lesser and lower things, which are not worthy at all. So then think about what can be the best I can achieve. That's why the meaning of yad gatva nanivartante tadhama paramam mama yat prapya na kinchid vanchati na shochati na ramate notsahi bhavati na dveshti. See, ज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम एवं यास्यसि पांडव. In Gita, in all the Purana Itihasas, they talked about, beta, this is the highest, this is the greatest, this is the noblest, this is the supremost. Did it happen in our intellect? Have you given sufficient thought, especially those who are regularly coming to these classes, sufficient thought that what they are indicating and what they are indicating as what? So if they are indicating the truth, the reality, they are indicating it as what? As the ultimate, as the best, as the greatest to be achieved. Has it clicked to us? Did we ponder over it sufficiently and understood it and mainly accepted for ourselves? That beyond any question or beyond any doubt, our single pointed goal is only this. Fortunately, today and tomorrow in Gita, exhaustively we are going to discuss this topic only. Very, very coincidental and blessing only. Have we decided that this should be the only goal, ultimate goal? Isn't it? Like when you have decided this cloth to buy, you won't spend your money for anything else. You won't even pay any attention. So here's where I have to make my house. Then further we don't think about दूसरी जगह के बारे में. Else what? We're always in a state of confusion, indecisiveness, non-performance, never achieved. So let us, it's a high time to use, reuse, rightly use our intellect with the data so much so far given to us to think for ourselves independently and understand and see what should be the best thing to be achieved. On that only the entire life's performances, dramas, efforts depend on. You and I especially. How many Upanishads we studied? How many of the Prakaranas we have studied? How many Purana Itihasa? How much of Gita Adi Shastra? But have we convincingly got convinced that the Supreme alone is our ultimate goal? Has it happened? If at all, is it very convincing or very vague or hasty, indecisive, tentative? Then they are not good, they are not sufficient. Non-tentative, completely, decisively, we have to come to that conviction, isn't it? This is the third thing or fourth thing. Love your life, make it exuberant, understand the limitations of the available time and energies. After that, the fourth one, then use the intellect to think about what can be the best test that is achievable, what's recommended to us by our gurus, shastras, elders. Then think to make it our own. है ना? That's the meaning of शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्यबुद्ध्या अवधारणा सा श्रद्धा कथिता सद्भिः. And then comes the fourth one is what? Fifth one. Therefore, if that is my goal, how intelligent I am, how well planned I am to divert, to direct all my resources exclusively towards that without any compromise, without any, like some Marwadis are there or such type of Vaishyas or business people. So shrewd, so what do you call strong they are that ek rupaya bhi they won't invest there where they know that it's not going to profit. पता जहां चलता है कि यहाँ कोई वायदा नहीं है वो लोग एक रुपए भी नहीं लगाते. मुझे क्या मिलेगा इज ऑलवेज that baniya vritti we have to have for our wanting to achieve the highest because time is less, resources are less. How can we invest them in anything? Again, here also, our thinking, our serious thinking, our genuine, sincere thinking for our own selves. At that time, we should not come under any obligations, any of the other notions, more importantly, any of the hesitations and fears. That this is what is my goal. To reach to that goal, these are the things I have to do. They only I will do throughout my life, throughout my day, by my own choice. All other things, decently, respectfully, I will say no to it. It is my desire. So, ये मेरा गोल है, तुझे इस तरफ जाना है. And like when you are going towards, let us say, a temple. So you are just taking right turn because the temple is right side. Suddenly somebody stopped you there at the turn and said, भाई चलो मेरे साथ थोड़ा लेफ्ट को जाना ना. What you say? मुझे टेम्पल जाना है, that is right side. नहीं नहीं प्लीज मेरे साथ आ जाओ. Do you oblige that fellow? भाई मुझे जाना ही नहीं उधर, मैं क्यों जाऊँ तुम्हारे साथ? नहीं नहीं प्लीज गिव मी सम कंपनी, मुझे उस तरफ जानी है. देयर इज ए बिग वेल और सम रिवर, आई वांट टू जंप एंड डाई, प्लीज गिव मी कंपनी. So what do you say? It's a laughable thing that when you have to go to temple, which is right direction, that we oblige someone to take a left turn or take some other turn. Is there any meaning? Chal, theek hai. How can you compromise? You are going to the goal for anybody's any sentiment obligation. लाइफ में हमारा क्या होता है ना, एट एवरी पॉइंट वी गो रॉन्ग, एवरी पॉइंट वी आर wrongly understanding or not understanding because we are never thinking for ourselves. The glory of a life we don't know, the value of life we don't know, the importance of time we don't know, highest goal to reach we don't know. Then we biggest blunder we do is what after this is that we come under so many emotional bondages inside. Most of them are self-related only. Very few are there related to others. The obligations of the family, etc., are there. But वो 10-20-30% max होते हैं. Remaining 60-70 is our own personal obligation because of not having the conviction about the goal. The personally felt obligation is what? मैं सुबह में 1 घंटा वॉकिंग नहीं करूंगा तो मैं नहीं होगा। और 1 घंटे को 40 मिनट 30 मिनट जाओ, 30 मिनट ध्यान के लिए लगाओ, नहीं। और मुझे ये दूसरा करना है, वो करना है, नहीं तो ये होगा वो होगा करके सेल्फ रिलेटेड वहम सो मेनी वी हैव। दैट इज व्हाई वी आर नॉट एबल टू गिव अप मेनी थिंग्स एंड डू द साधना। है ना, मुझे पेपर पढ़ना है, मुझे न्यूज देखना है, मुझे क्या क्या हो रहा है, समाचार होना है। दिस आर नो बडी इज इन्वॉल्व इन दिस आवर थिंकिंग्स एंड डिसीजन, इट्स आवर ओनली। Like that, many, many unwanted things, we come under sentiment, emotion, and we get lost. At a little higher level, a spiritual seeker is careless fully, carefree fully about every other thing, especially which are not required life, not required for sadhana. He has to rise above them. Otherwise, जो थोड़ा सा समय है उसी के लिए जाता है. And people use us left and right like that. You know, those who are around with the people. Those who don't have the people, they themselves make such nonsense. मेरे घर में 100 पौधे हैं स्वामी जी, 1 घंटा I water them. How gloriously they tell that to a Swami who knows that knowing the self is the goal, one has to intensely, deeply do sadhana. To him we tell that मेरे घर में इतने गमले हैं, इतने तोते हैं, इतने कुत्ते हैं, इतने कबूतर हैं, and my life is dedicated to whom are you telling? You understand? No, they all appear to be so important, so sentimental. Then पूरा जिंदगी उसी के लिए जाएगा वो. I'm just giving 4 5 examples like that. Each one have their own variety of obligations, self-made. In that they are lost. So many. They have a list of 10 people. 10 to every day they have to contact them. Every day they have to message them. Every day they have to reply them. अरे ये सब रूटीन हो गया हमको, फिर देन वेयर इज द टाइम एनर्जी, वेयर इवन थॉट इन द इंटेलेक्ट दैट दिस इज माय हाईएस्ट गोल, फॉर दैट आई हैव टू सो इंटेंसली वर्क टुवर्ड्स, वो थॉट ही नहीं रहता बिकॉज वी आर ऑलरेडी लॉस्ट इन इट. So therefore, having ascertained the goal, the next thing is fully working towards it. While doing so, all these are outer and inner things which drain away all our abilities, etc. We have to curtail from, we have to withdraw from. And then enjoyingly, movement by movement, day by day, we have to ensure that the best we are doing. आज का बेस्ट मैं कर रहा हूँ. That definitely will take us to the next level, next step. जो करना है कर तो रहोगे, तो जो ना है वो होता ही रहेगा. One need not worry. So today's most important thought is how much our intellect has been awakened to all these things, and how much we are committed or convinced first, committed and genuine in our pursuits, isn't it? And one of the very essential thing is, whether you like it or not, it continuously exposed to the Shastras, mainly in the satsang, also at home studying, is the only one which keeps us reminded about these things. Never think that I have heard sufficiently, I have understood sufficiently. If you are really at the highest level, that independently, without the requirement of anybody's reminder, the gurus or our acharyas, that you can consistently do your sadhana, then do it. But if not, then that mind is such a powerful, terrible one that वो तो कहती है कि मैं शास्त्र पढ़ चुका हूँ, उपनिषद पढ़ चुका हूँ, now I understood what to achieve, no I don't need to go to class anymore. How many people that way have missed this, and then thinking that they knew everything, they knew also. But how many days? 3 days, 4 days. उसके बाद धीरे धीरे the mind has such a power, it will induce one or the other thing. Slowly the spiritual goal is forgotten. Then the later on they feel shy again to rejoin the satsang or re-listen it. तो for मेरे लिए तो ये है, I will not take my mind for granted. When it says that आप इतने शास्त्र खुद ही पढ़ा चुके हो, तुम सब जानते हो, अभी छोड़ो पढ़ना पढ़ाना, now sit and do meditation. I to tell that mind, you are right, but do that in the other time, not during the class. Class is class, that's it. छोड़ दिया छूट जाता है भैया. So don't succumb to any of these things. Every day reading those Tattva Shastra reminds us to know the Tattva. Reading the Purana Shastras inspires us and gives examples to us कि उनकी तरह मुझे भी जीना है इत्यादि. Without these two, we will listen to our mind, and mind has how many excuses? है ना? How many of justifications? Mind is like our Pakistan country. Those Gadha, they will excuse, justify their terrorism in any way, and how they are able to convince the World Bank and all these Beokoofs. I never understand. How can they sanction loans? When you know every terrorist organization is being brought up, they being taken care there or supported there, still they give. More funniest than this is the people of that country themselves. How foolish they are that they know every one of them that their country is whole resources that are coming through taxes, also from the loans from other countries. Half are eaten by the leaders, half are misused for the terrorism. पता है बट कोई आवाज ही उठाता नहीं. विचित्र no? In our country also. People sleepy, therefore the governmental rules, regulations. Nowadays it is better, but earlier it was against the country, against the individual growth also. This is how it happens. Worse than that is our mind. Give it a chance, it is slowly succumbs to its powerful, terrible, unknown vasanas, unknown desires, unknown extrovertednesses. The total outcome of all that is to make us forget that we are even spiritual. तो इसलिए चांस नहीं लेना. So let the intellect that way be every moment alert. And then while being in this spiritual sadhana, one last suggestion is what? About the world and worldly happenings, have the ability to take the things in a lighter way. That's what he said, samatha. Sukha dukkhe same krutva, lighter sense. The love and hatred from the people, success and failure in the world, loss and profit in the world. सी उसको फिर वैल्यू दो तो फिर अटेंशन फिर उस तरफ से ठीक है, सब ठीक चल रहा है बस. Let us not have any grudges towards anything or anybody, because that's not our goal. And such waves keep on coming and lashing us when we are living a dynamic life for various reasons. So they are all, in fact, we can say them as our tests to test our patience, perseverance, consistency to walk towards our goal. They are there only to strengthen us, not to weaken. We become weakened when we value them, when we react to them, when we start involving in them more and more. And that beautiful Hindi saying can be used here in partial sense. What is it? Hati chale bazar, kutte bhonke hazar. The elephant is going in its own royal way. So many dogs, it cannot answer to every dog. You just see. So too, so many things keep on happening in the world. They are like dogs. They keep on barking. जिसको जहाँ थोड़ा थोड़ा response करना है करो, but be careful about not forgetting goal, not forgetting means, not forgetting sadhana, and continuously, constantly, every moment doing those things that are to be done. And what are to be done are already discussed 2000 times. That withdraw ourselves, our attention, our identity from anything outer and anything upadhis, and take our identity, attention towards the adhisthana, about which in every of the Upanishad, luckily, we are equipping every day. We are getting the knowledge, information every day. So towards that, our attention, identity has to be shifted. That's what we have to do and achieve. Let us think more and more and become a good person of good understanding and a genuine person of sadhana, etc. Om, Om, Om. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। हृदये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वर जीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदेशाक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन मुक्तिप्राप्ति सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्धि धर्म संस्थापकानां निरञ्जय नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयः। राम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादि पुनर्वाप्ति देश निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापनादि तेन सनातन धर्मस्य वर्षस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु शासन समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्व हैंदव संस्कृते धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थ सुसंप्रतिष्ठास्यां कक्ष्यामागतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रतिभक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः अद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहं। पारायणार्थे अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। Let us do the chanting of 4, 5, 6 mantras of first chapter. Om तमेकनेमिं त्रिवृतं षोडशान्तं शतार्धारं विंशतिप्रत्यराभिः अष्टकैः षड्भिर्विश्वरूपैकपाशं त्रिमार्गभेदं द्विनिमित्तैकमोहं पञ्चस्रोतोऽम्बुं पञ्चयोन्युग्रवक्रां पञ्चप्राणोर्मिं पञ्चबुद्ध्यादिमूलां पञ्चावर्तां पञ्चदुःखौघवेगां पञ्चाशद्भेदां पञ्चपर्वामधीमः. In fact, we chanted 5 yesterday, saying 5 every day. ओम सर्वा जीवे सर्वसंस्थे बृहन्ते अस्मिन् हंसो भ्राम्यते ब्रह्मचक्रे पृथगात्मानं प्रेरितारं च मत्वा जुष्टस्ततस्तेनामृतत्वमेति उद्गीतमेतत् परमं तु ब्रह्म तस्मिन् स्त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठाक्षरं च अत्रान्तरं ब्रह्मविदो विदित्वा लीना ब्रह्मणि तत्पराः योनिमुक्ताः संयुक्तमेतत्क्षरमक्षरं च व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भरते विश्वमीशः अनीशश्चात्मा बध्यते भोक्तृभावात् ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः ज्ञाज्ञौ द्वावजावीशनेशौ अजाह्येका भोक्तृभोग्यार्थयुक्ता अनन्तश्चात्मा विश्वरूपो ह्यकर्ता त्रयं यदा विन्दते ब्रह्ममेतत् क्षरं प्रधानममृताक्षरं हरः क्षरात्मानावीशते देव एकः तस्याभिध्यानात् योजनात् तत्त्वभावात् भूयश्चान्ते विश्वमाया निवृत्तिः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Now, the 18th mantra about the Paramatma Tattva. is it is Kutastha. It is as it is. Satswarupa, Chitswarupa, Ananta Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa. When all the time means Kalatraye api, in all the periods of history of past, present, future, Muktau, when we get that Muktanumukti, then Pralayadauch. So when you talk about the Pralaya, when the whole Jagat goes into the Mula Karana. When you talk about Mukti, when one realizes that self. When you talk about Kalatraya, an individual not realized self, now still is in the Upadhis and is in the Kala, Bhutavavishad Vartaman. In all these periods of time, Paramatma Kutastaha. Paramatma is there as he is. He never changed. Iti Nischayat. First come to this Nischaya. This is the essence of what is being spoken, studied so far. That Kalatita, then Srushti Sthiti Layatita, then Mukta Anubhava Sthiti is this Kutastha Paramatma. Having got the Nischaya about it, now from that standpoint, Jagrat Swapnayoho api, even in Jagrat Swapna also, that Paramatma alone is there, but Bhrantya Sadvitiyatva Avabhasaha. This is the most crux and crucial point of Vedanta. It is only because of the Bhranti that the Avabhasa, the appearance and acceptance of Dvitiya is happening. What is the meaning of Dvitiya? The Dvaita, the sense of something is there other than Brahma. Right? Something other, like something other than the wood. What do you call it as? Chair. In which shape it is? Like this, like that. For what it is utilized to sit and to fight with each other. Now see how much of the language has happened regarding the chair, its color, its shape, its size, its utility, its beauty. How many things we describe it. From the time the chair has come to our house, then we are very comfortable. How many things you are talking? About what? About the chair. Is it really there? Think. There is only wood or plastic. But then something other than that wood or plastic, we have accepted it. Then all our thinking is only about it. If this example can click to us, in the same way, it is only Bhrantya Avabhasaha. About what? Sadvitiyam. That there is something other than the Paramatma. There is something other than Paramatma, in brackets, in the form of this million world things of the names and forms of the world. All of them are Bhrantya Avabhasaha. See, this is a crux of Vedanta. Like other than the waking mind, in the dream, the total dream world of things and beings and happenings, they are not the Bhrantya Avabhasa? Out of delusion, they are all appearances only. All the Sadvitiyata, how many of the things and beings we go on seeing in the dream? But are all they there? How many experiences also we go through? No, it is only Bhranti. That's why when I wake up as a wake-up, I know none of these things ever existed. Never there. ये एग्जाम्पल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. स्वप्न का जागृत दृष्टि से देखो तो वो भ्रांति से अवभासते था. At that time when it was not understood as Bhranti Avasa, it was taken as real. Then in that ignorance and delusion, we were involved in that dream world of karma and karma phala. That's what is samsara. When we awaken, I alone am there, the Veka. No dream me, no dream world, no dream doings and dream achievings. Same way, right now also, we are in the delusion that we are the Upadhi Yukta Jiva and the world is in front of us with so many of attractive things and names and beings. Those we have to procure, for that this or that we have to do. इस सारा कहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है? From the first mistake that there is something other than Brahman. Like there is nothing other than the waker, but the projection has happened of the dream world. Then we involved in all those doings and achievings. Here also, there is nothing other than one without second Brahman. That's not realized. Therefore, in this ignorance and Bhranti, there is Sadvitiyatva Avabhasa. Avabhasa means appearance and acceptance. The beautiful thought is this. Jagrat Swapnayorapi Bhrantya Sadvitiyatva Avabhasaha. Both in the Jagrat world, in Swapnavastha, all the Sadvitiyatva is Bhrantya Avabhasa. Bhranti is delusion. Delusion is that state of mind where something which is true is not clearly understood. Like something which is true is the rope there, not clearly understood. Therefore, that leads to the projection of something other than this rope called as snake in that example. Here also, Brahma Tattva Jnana is not there. That's called Ajnana. From that Janita is the Bhranti. In that Bhranti only, Sadvitiyatva Avabhasa. Then this word, every one of these words used by Bhagavan Adi Shankara, so precious as we go deep in our study and contemplation about the truth. He used this word Sadvitiya Bhranti Avabhasaha. Avabhasa is appearance. Bhrantya Sadvitiya to Avabhasaha. What do you mean by what he wants to say subtly is out of delusion, the duality is appearance and projection only. That means what? Never from that one without second Paramatma, the Dvitiya Dvaita Jagat, which we are now seeing, is never ever created. In Vedanta, please see the difference between these two things. Understand what is said by Vedanta. What is that? One is created, second is appeared. Right? If you say creation, then we are lost. Never ever anything is created. Because if anything is created, the Brahman, the Atman, should no more be there. Because from him the things have come created. But Brahman is always intact there for us to realize. Therefore, what is the position of all this world? First thing is it is not created. Naturally, when it is not created, but still it is seen, what do you call it as? It is called as projected. That's the meaning of word avabhasa. So परमात्मा से द्वैत जगत का निर्माण नहीं हुआ. फिर परमात्मा को नहीं जानने से उस भ्रांति से द्वैत जगत का भान हो रहा है, अवभाषा हो रहा है, अपीयरेंस हो रहा है. This is a very important word. Sadvitiyatva. Jagra swapnayo api bhrantya eva sadvitiyatva avabhasaha. Bhrantya sadvitiyatva avabhasaha. Then vastutastu. Vastutah means in truth, in reality. Listen these words. Very clear. Vastutah tu sada. In reality always. Nirbheda eva. Nirbheda means bheda rahita. Veda means other thing. Without anything other than it, that Brahman and that Brahman and that Brahman alone is there. Nirbheda Mrd, Mitti alone is there. There are no Bheda of so many pots and Gamla which you see. They are all Bhrantya Kalpita only. Isn't it? There the Bhranti and Kalpana was required for Vyavahara. That you want to put the plants or you want to sow the water. So therefore, you have done the kalpana by your choice of the pot on the mud. In the same way, by Ishvara Leela, for the prarabdha of the Samashti Jivas and the Vyashti Jivas, on Brahman be attentive. The entire Samashti Jagat of Rupanama is kalpita. Bhrantya sadvidiyatva avasa. Vastutastu abheda eva iti aha. Nirbheda eva iti aha. Nirbheda means Dvaita Rahita Ekameva Dvaya Adhisthana Brahma. So, in this shloka, these are the things that are highlighted. कालत्रये अपि मुक्तौ प्रलयादौ च परमात्मा कूटस्थः इति विषय इति निश्चयात् जाग्रत्स्वप्नयोः अपि भ्रान्त्या सद्वितीयत्व अवभासः वस्तुतः तु सदा निर्वेद एव इति आह. Now this mantra 18 and its bhashya are very deep, very detailed, very important. Let's start studying it today. Now chant the mantra 2 times. Then the mantra artha we will see how much we can discuss. Then we enter into the bhashya artha. The mantra is Om Yada Tamastanna Divanaratrihi Nasanna Chasan Shiva Eva Kevalaha Tadaksharam Tat Saviturvarenyam Prajna Cha Tasmat Prasruta Purani Ha Yada Tamastan Divanaratrihi Nasanna Chasan Shiva Eva Kevalaha Tadaksharam Tat सवितुर्वरेण्यं प्रज्ञा च तस्मात् प्रसृता पुराणी. सो मोटे तौर पर इस श्लोक में क्या कहा गया है थ्रू शब्दार्थ वी विल सी. Then through the Bhashyam, every sentence which is very beautiful, sublime, crucial, we try to digest. Remember, in the classes every day, with the help of Bhashya, we are trying to decode, analyze, understand what is in the Upanishadic mantras. That much we are doing. Then valuing these mantras, their meaning, remembering them, seeing the sadhana in them, doing that sadhana is absolutely personal to you and me. Subject. Recommendation is always there that you must reflect on these mantras, make this knowledge one's own, remember it, live accordingly. They're all that's for that purpose only we are here. But in the class every day, this much. Other than it, we're not staying in an ashram wherein I can ask you every day to write your notes and submit to me so that I can correct it. Or once in a week, I conduct the exam, vocal or writing, to ensure that these mantras are thoroughly studied by you. These are all we are not doing. In fact, इस तरह से एजुकेशन होता है. जैसे स्कूलों में फॉर्मली teacher teaches and he asks the questions and he put the test, then he scrutinizes the answers given, then he assesses how much the children have understood. Same happens in the Gurukula between the Guru and Shishya on every subject, whether it is grammar teaching, whether it is Upasana teaching, whether it is any other Yogadi asanas teaching, or the Bhakti Marga, even Vedanta. Padakar, ensuring that the disciple has understood it, digested it, and practicing it. This is how the Guru sees that he becomes a finished product before he is sent into the world. But you and I are not doing it. ऑनलाइन में मेरे मजबूरी से मैं क्लास कर रहा हूं, आपके क्या मजबूरी से आप आ रहे हो भगवान जाने. We are doing least minimum. We don't have guts to kick away everything and stay in ashram together and then thoroughly study these shastras. हमको एक घंटे में आने भी मेहरबानी लगता है. We have to know all these things. They all have their own role to play. So here what we are doing is understanding mantra. And you being at your own place, you can reflect on this, can digest on every mantra and its meaning. Again, chant once more. Yada tamastanna divanaratrihi nasanna chasan shiva eva kevalaha tadaksharam tat saviturvarenyam prajna cha tasmat prasruta purani. Friends, two things please listen carefully. One, though it is Sanskrita Bhasha, but the Vedic Sanskrita Bhasha is different from the Purana Itihasa Samskrita Bhasha. Vedic Bhasha is very different in its vocabulary, in its expression, etc. So, Bhasha itself is tough, first of all. Second, the way it is revealed to the rishis and the way the rishis have put it in the form of these mantras, it's very indicative, very mystical, very, what do you call it as, not sarala. वो स्ट्रेट नहीं होता, घुमा फिरा कर होता है, उसको हमको दिमाग एक्स्ट्रा लगाकर समझना पड़ता है. So first is language difficulty. Second is it is not सरल simple that मैं दुकान जाकर वहां से दूध लेकर आ रहा हूं, ऐसा स्पष्टता दिखता नहीं हो many a places. That's why the भाष्यकार के रूप में भगवान came and sorted out this problem by explaining to us every word, including the particles if they are there, cha, etc., and then total meaning. Thank God we got the Bhashyam to understand maximum what is indicated in that mantra. Without the Bhashyam, तो you can't catch only. कोई कोई मंत्र तो इतने beyond our intellect होते हैं. This is a typical example. So now word by word meaning I am trying to discuss. One, yada atamaha. देखो, if you don't break it, it appears like yada tamaha. It is not yada tama, yada atamaha. When there is no tamas, then tat nadiva naratrihi. When there is no the concept of day and night, then nasan chasan. There are no concepts also of is or not is. That time सद असत का कॉन्सेप्ट जहां चला गया, दिन रात्रि का कॉन्सेप्ट यहां चला गया, तमस पूरा जब चला गया, एट दैट टाइम इज वन थिंग. व्हाट इज दैट? शिव एव केवलः. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द अबव संबंध भाष्य में. प्रलयादौ मुक्तौ एज वेल एज द कालत्रये अपि परमात्मा कूटस्थः. दैट कूटस्थ परमात्मा इज शिव एव केवलः. Then yada tamastanna divana ratrihi nasanna chasan. These are all indicating the pralayadav, kotas, muktav, as well as kalatriya. So kalatriya api muktav pralayadav kutastha paramatma. Paramatma kutastha eva. What was given in Sambandha Bhashya. That's why you prepared our mind with Sambandha Bhashya. Else directly you cannot understand these mystical mantras. So yada atamaha, yada tat na divaha, diva tat na ratrihi. Not only that, nasan, nasat, nasan means nasat, then nacha asan means nacha asat. Then what is there at that time when there is no sat, no asat, no diva, no ratri, no atamaha, no tamaha? Shiva eva kevala. That is the most Shiva auspicious state of being. See how mystical it is. If we had prepared ourselves with our earlier Upanishadic study, this Upanishad earlier shlokas, then we will be able to receive it. Suddenly जो enter करते इनके लिए तो bouncer हो गया. Shiva eva kevalaha. And that Shiva Paramatma, that Tattva Brahma, that only, Tad Aksharam, that is imperishable, Tat Savituhu Varenyam. And he is the one who is seen every day by you and I as the most reverential Kanti in Bhagavan Surya. See, it is said that Surya ka Varenyam Bhargaha. Bharga means Kanti. Varenyam is Varniyam, worthy of worshipping, worthy of seeking, worthy of praying to, worthy of invoking. Savitu means of Lord Surya. Tat Savitu Varenyam Bhargaha. So, there, even in that Gayatri mantra also, Bhur Bhuva Swaha Vyahritis Tat Savitu Varenyam Bhargaha. Devasya. There, Dhimahi, the word came. So, on that resplendent glory of Lord Surya's Kanti, we are meditating. इसमें वो क्रियापद यूज ही नहीं कर रहे, तत्सवितुर वरेण्यम कह दिया. देन धीमहि वाज सेड देयर, नो, वहां से हलाना पड़ेगा. तदक्षरम तत्सवितुर वरेण्यम, है ना. यू सी द कांति ऑफ लॉर्ड सूर्य with which he is illuminating all the three worlds, with which he is illuminating the eye and buddhi of every of the individual, because of which the individual's outer life as well as inner life are possible. In short, the whole life is possible at the individual and total level is because of the Bhargaha, the Kanti of Savita, the Surya. That's where that example is taken. Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha. But the point is, where from this Kanti of the Surya also has come, which is giving life to all of us, that is the Brahman only. एक झलक दिखा रहे हमको उस ब्रह्म का महिमा का, हमारा अटेंशन सूर्य कांति पे डाइवर्ट कराते हुए. डू यू सी हाउ वन सूर्या's light and heat is enlivening the millions and millions of jivas? You can see it, no? Without surya life is not possible. Life is not. No, that bharga of that savita is from or because of the Brahman. Then how much glory must be that Brahman? Like yesterday we saw in our Tulsi Ramayana about Paramatma Tattva only, then Brahmana Devata is saying, Koti Surya Prabha. करोड़ों सूर्यों के समान प्रभा है उस आत्मा वस्तु का. He is doing Bhagavan Shivaji, Ujjain Mahakalas, Kaleshwaras, Stuti he is doing. In that word was used. So one Surya, our attention is directed towards, and his Bharga Kanti's glory is shown to us. Then we are told of that Surya, further light and Kanti and his existence. The cause is that Brahma. Here it is said in that evening class and other classes, like that करोड़ों सूर्यों का कांति उस परमात्मा का है. Means what? The Lord is such a pure conscious existence in whom millions and millions of Surya with Kanti can come to illuminate millions of worlds. That all shows that you cannot measure him. He is immeasurable. Anything immeasurable is Ananta. To direct our attention to the Anantatva of the Paramatma, these explanations are given that one Surya illuminating so much, million Suryas are illuminated by that one Paramatma Tattva. So Tadaksharam Tahat Savitur Varenyam. Okay, it is imperishable truth and it is expressed as you see as that Varaniya Bharga of the Savita. Varaniya means worship worthy, respect worthy, coveting worthy, desiring worthy. And O Lord Surya, as you are giving light and heat and empowering the whole humanity, give me to my buddhi that knowledge by which I empower myself to reach to the ultimate truth. That's the meaning of Varaniyam. Varenyam means. So Tadaksharam Tad Savitur Varenyam. Now the beautiful last line is so sweet. It's not complete. Tomorrow we are going to study this mantra in detail. We will ensure that it is thoroughly studied with the help of this kind Bhashyam. The fourth line is wonderful. It is कि प्रज्ञा च तस्मात् प्रसृता पुराण. Tasmat means from that Brahman only, Purani Prajna Prasruta. Right from the beginning of creation, at the individual and total level, the Prajna required for the outer samsaric life, the Prajna required for the realization of the self, both are Prasruta coming from that Paramatma Tattva. तस्मात् पुरानी प्रज्ञा प्रस्तुता. तस्मात् मतलब उस अक्षर पर ब्रह्म से ही, है ना, पुरानी प्रज्ञा, द इटर्नल प्रज्ञा which is required for outer vyavahara and adhyatmic chintana, prasuta, वो प्रसरण होता हुआ, it has come up to us. See how much indicated it is. Straight away it cannot be told. Brahman is said like that only. So यदा तमस्तन्न दिवान रात्रिः न सन्न चासन शिव एव केवलः तदक्षरम तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम प्रज्ञा च तस्मात् प्रसुता पुराणी. चारों सेंटेंस अलग अलग डिसमेंटेड है. एक एक को समझकर उसका कनेक्शन को हमें जोड़ना है. But why Upanishads are like, they are like that only. Why are you worried? We have Bhashyakara to explain. उनके द्वारा तुम समझो. Isn't it? Like a cinema गाना है. But why he has written? He was in that mood. He has written. That's it. Isn't it? भोले जो बिसरे गीत है, अब उस पोएट का उस समय का अंदाजा ऐसा था. No, you cannot ask and get any satisfactory answer, but why? It's like that one. You write your own Gana if you want. In the same way, Bhashyakara gave us Bhashya. Let us use it to understand. But Upanishads are like that one. They are Apaurushaya, they cannot be edited. They have to be like that. So tomorrow, this beautiful mantra ka एक sentence हम भाष्य से अध्ययन करेंगे. And the purpose of all of these studies, one, to become more and more convinced about the presence of the substratum, the Brahman, the Atman. Second is to be convinced that realizing Him alone is the way of moksha. Third is to know that how that Paramatma is to be realized. Obviously, fourth is our qualification. The fifth one is we have to withdraw from our other endeavors to more and more focus on it. है ना? 100% the worldliness, zero pursuit of Paramatma. Say 90 and 10, 80 and 20, 70, 30, 60, 40. ऐसे धीरे धीरे our pursuit become more and more for this. Should become. It is in our hands. Then we will be able to use this Upanishadic Jnanam to contemplate and realize that inner self. Wish and pray with all these efforts, the Guru Parampara, the Vyasa Bhagavan, the Parabrahma Tattva, the Jagan Mata Ishvara blesses us that we become intense and deep in our jignasa to know the truth, in our mumukshata to get liberated from the upadhyukta jiva jivana. That's the prayer for me I'm doing. You can also join if you want. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Have time to join for Gita. Hari Om.